Hi everyone, welcome back to our final game of the day. I'm Granite Game Listener. With me is Jenny Rivera Lee, and we'll be bringing you guys the action. We are now watching Cerberus versus Definitely Not Girls, playing it out in our final best of one. What do you think? Do you have any expectations for these teams?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, both of these teams, of course, we are in the lower brackets, so they did lose.
What are you trying to say? You know, everybody has.
So it's been a tough, long road for all of these teams. Of course,
Nice save.
If you, of course, if you do, say you're a team Asterix, you only played 2 games today because you just won both of them back-to-back, straight, easy way into the top 4, whereas for both Cerberus G6 and Definitely Not Girls, I mean, we started the games at 9 in the morning today, so for these teams, I mean, it's been a solid 4 or 5 hours of just prepping, of being, focusing, concentrating, being on the ball for today, so I think for either of these teams to lose at this point and just barely not make it into the top 4 is definitely going to hurt.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, not even including the amount of practice and the preparation time that they had to take before the competition started. So hopefully the game goes well for both teams. At least even if they do lose, they can still say, hey, I played a damn good game.
Yep, also one interesting thing to note is that team Definitely Not Girls is our mainly Malaysian team for this season. They are the last Malaysian team left. There are 4 members from team DNG who are from Malaysia, except for Ice Bear. Ice Bear is from Singapore, and also, fun fact, Ice Bear is 14. And
what does that matter?
And she's one of the players to watch on the side of DNG.
Alright, so she carries, you know, you're gonna use that. You can bring that into the angle. So far we're watching a couple of, let's go through the pick and ban phase real quick. Blue side, Lissandra, Draven, Zac being banned. Red side, Caitlyn, Galio, Ilaoi. So the Ilaoi target ban, yada yada yada. Let's talk about this Nocturne pick. Because Nocturne, we got to see this yesterday, like 1 game. We're finally get to see it in the FSL now.
Yep, and we've been talking the entire morning about Nocturne, about how in the current meta right now, champions such as the Nocturne, such as the Sinja are so powerful because a lot of the games in competitive league right now are focused around that very early game aggression. So Nocturne is definitely going to be the champion to watch for this game. Of course, DNG did pick up that Twitch, so very telegraphed. They want their AD to carry. I'm not sure what they'll end up picking for Ice Bear. She is very good at mage. Champions does tend to carry with those types of champions, but might just be putting her on utility. Of course, Zillion could be going into the bottom lane as a support too, might be providing a bit more of that zone potential, especially against the Ashe and Brand, because against champions, against the bot lane duo of the Ashe Brand, if Brand does end up going support, it's pretty much you land 1 CC and then you just get blown to pieces. Once the Ashe hits level 6 or the Brand, just the power of the Brand is pretty much in the duo lane in those team fights when he can get the bounce procs off of the more people in your team fight. So one way to counteract that is you pick something like a Tamkench, you pick something like a Zillion who can save that Twitch.
Yeah, so looking for that first pick Twitch, you really have to have a number of things, a number of tools. I'm not even sure whether the Zillion alone is going to be enough to keep the Twitch alive, to be honest. So hopefully get to see something else. Otherwise, looking at a couple of top lane bans right now, Pantheon and Urgot being removed, so we still have a couple of high priority champions like that. Aatrox still being up in the top lane. We're going to see what they want to get rid of. Jack's going to be another ban. I think Maokai was a champion that we saw being banned against Sheepy. I'm not exactly sure how prevalent or how effective Maokai is in the current meta, and whether or not Maokai would be able to provide the kind of effect that they're looking for, but Maokai is available if they want it.
I'm not sure what else Sheepy has left in her wheelhouse. We know that she plays Ilaoi, she plays Jax, she plays Maokai, also
Nasus, I think.
in our research, yeah, Nasus as well as Teemo. I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing that in the FSL in competitive in the top lane for today, but it looks like a Trundle pickup from the side of Definitely Not Girls.
Round 2 Nasus game, come on, just no fear. Actually, this is actually a better game for an Nasus game, to be honest. Than the first
one
game
earlier. Yep, looks like it will be the Nasus. We are on patch 9.1. We are on the live servers for today, so there was a slight buff in the
plus 12. DK plus 12.
Yeah, there was that buff to his Q stacks. He gets so much more. He gets double the stacks right now on the champion kills, as well as the large minion kills. I think from 3, 6, it's now 12 and 6 the stacks that he gets.
12 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think the 3 became 6. For really on Big Mini and Executes.
Big Mini executes at 12.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so 6 became 12, but still the small everything else is still 3.
Mm-hmm.
And if they bumped it up to 6, that's actually
6, and you're like each small minion.
Each small
I execute plus 6.
You in Nasus in the jungle right now, you can pick up like 200 plus stacks in like 8 minutes. He can go he can get 1,000 stacks in like 20 something minutes. If you put plus 6, you actually don't need to play anymore.
The dream. No, but by that point, the enemy Nocturne has pretty much killed off your entire team.
Yeah, but you one-shot the Nocturne, so does it matter?
You emerge from the jungle at like 20
You
minutes.
emerge a god.
You you press R and then you strut out of the fog of war.
You walk out as a god. You really do.
Anyway, so
yeah.
we saw I think it was the Lux Hover once more from Team Definitely Not Girls, but they are going to instead round out the competition with the Syndra. We are wondering, are they going to pick up anything else to try and protect the Giovanni, maybe Orianna, Lux perhaps even, but they are instead going to go with that Syndra, which unlike what we saw in the previous game, this game, Definitely Not Girls have a lot more of a traditional front line to help peel. So there's going to be Trundle in the front, Noxion's probably going to out into the team fight, and then Syndra and Zillion kind of kiting together with the Twitch to try and make sure he doesn't die. It's kind of how the DNG team fight will look like.
Yeah, so the team fight wise, agree with you. It's probably gonna look you're just gonna keep the Twitch alive. Twitch just has to try to you could save the Syndra. Maybe you could try and look for a flank and then try and kite from there. But I mean, my expectation is just the Nasus gets fed, just Q to Q. It's honest expectation.
Realistically, not the Nasus in your dreams.
Honest expectation. Nasus gets fed, 2 Qs kills Twitch. There we go. making the call, because right now there's a lot of additional front-loaded damage and a lot of threats on Cerberus as well. It easily gives them a lot more power, right? You have the Cassiopeia, you have the Brand, they are easily able to move forward, dish out additional damage, so they have to be very wary of that. The Nasus then is able to go in with free reign and just...
Yep, I do agree with that. Cerberus G6 definitely have a very strong team fighting composition. Just all the big ultimates, the Cassiopeia, the Sejuani, as well as the Ash Arrow. 5v5 wise, Cerberus G6 composition looks super scary. It's gonna be really difficult, I think, for DNG to really try and kite around the 5v5 at that point. However, I think where the opportunity for DNG to really take control of the game is going to be during the early to mid game. They've obviously picked the Nocturne, who's going to want to try and get champions such as the Syndra hit in the early game. A couple of early kills to the Twitch won't hurt as well. Whereas on the side of Cerberus G6, it's really all about hitting that level 6, right? It's about hitting that level 6 Sejuani, ganking for the Cassiopeia, or just Ash and Brand just straight up winning that level 6 power spike out in that 2v2. Nasus, of course, is gonna, as you've talked up, going to want to farm. Farm his Q. Farm his Q. Keep on farming.
Keep farming his Q. You walk out 30 minutes later.
Hopefully he teleports into the team fight, but I think 5v5 wise, Cerberus G6 going to be giving DNG a good run for the money.
Yeah, I think right now, the way that we're looking at the match panning out, it's going to be... both teams have a pretty decent level 6 power spike. The Paranoia has a great setup coming in. What I'm a little bit afraid of and a little bit worried about is that there might not be enough follow-up with the Nocturne. Right? They have a lot of engage in the form of the Nocturne, but then everybody else just has to sort of walk up to catch up to where the Nocturne is. So if the Nocturne moves forward and then you suddenly get like a flash back, the Nocturne's caught between 4 people, the crowd control is just going to get him killed, right? So... This is a tough situation. Nocturne has to pick their targets very carefully here.
Alright, and we are going to be showing you guys 2 really sweet videos from both of these teams.
And we are bumping right into Summoner's Rift between these two teams. Cerberus G6 going up against Definitely Not Girls. I did a promotional video, the little introduction video we had. I think Sheepy was mid lane, but I think that's I think it's flipped around.
Yeah.
I think that might be. Yeah.
Yep,
Either way.
she's top lane.
Yeah.
For this game. One thing I did find out from the video is that their mid laner Janice is back. Her real name is Janice. Who knew?
Guess who's back?
Turns out.
Guess who's back?
Janice. Janice is back.
Back again?
There and back again.
You know the reference, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Just trying to ignore you when you make these bad jokes. I don't
Can't allow this to happen.
Encourage this behavior. Alright, it looks like, once again, pretty standard defensive strat from both these teams. Typical level 1 fan from the side of Cerberus G6. Also, not all that much lockdown CC over at the early level 1 right here, so don't really see any sort of cheese. There's no Morgana, there's no Pike, there's no Thresh. So both teams are going to go for very defensive starts early on. I'm a bit disappointed. I feel like Team Definitely Not Girls need to pick compositions where they can pick the Definitely Not skins, like Udyr and Nasus.
Blitzcrank. What else? Vel'Koz.
Yeah, that would be a terrible team composition.
Great team composition. Wait, let's see. Solid team composition. 10 out of 10.
Velmid, Nasus top.
I feel yeah. This is why I don't coach, right? Because I'm pretty sure I just draft like compositions based on like I want a full project skin game.
I want all Freljord.
All Freljord. Ice combo only. Yeah, Ashe has Sejuani, Lissandra. That's an okay comp. But wow, look at this damage coming out. Early level 1 trades, and we already see the Twitch getting dropped down to half health.
Yeah, it will get a bit better for DNG once Zilean does hit a level 2, and then he'll have his Q rewind Q combo available. However, as support, it does eat up a good chunk of your mana. But I mean, the brand support is just the classic I got autofilled support. I want to do damage, I want to use what limited resources I have to still be significant in the game, and he's doing so much poke damage this game.
Yeah, it's just a trade back. The brand does damage to the Twitch, the Zilean does damage to the brand.
Oh, it's Cappuccino. That's really cute. I just noticed.
Cool. So Sejuani now hovering around this top side, looking to try and do a little bit of work, pick up the Skull Crab here. That didn't look like they were going for the level 3 gank here. They might be able to do so now. I would actually like to see Sejuani try and go for this.
Yeah, they're actually just going to trade
mid lane.
Flank around Syndra.
Misses out. Oh my goodness, the push right on the turret. That could have been quite an interesting situation there.
By interesting, you mean bad.
Interesting for the Syndra.
Yeah.
Decent amount of damage onto the Twitch.
Low.
Ooh, forces the heal away.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Twitch isn't really the best at CSing under tower, especially at your low levels, because you really need to get your expunge off, and then it's a bit easier to CS under towers. So I think that Joust is probably gonna be forced to go back soon, which just means that he's gonna get his wave pushed in. But if he sticks around longer, there's a good chance that he's just going to be giving up first blood.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. It's about the same, right? Because like Twitch just farms about the same. Doesn't really have any kind of like special wave clear against the minions. So I could see what you're talking about. If he stays on the turret, could be decent potential to maybe take some turret plating, do some more damage to the Twitch, maybe look for a kill. But it does look like Zilean has the kind of pressure that they're looking for with the Zilean there. They do manage to spot out the knockdown, I believe. Gives them a little bit more information on how they should be playing this bot lane right now.
Yeah, that was a pretty intelligent move from the side of Cerberus at G6. They do have the ward over in the top side jungles, I think they were. So it wasn't that risky for them. They had hard pushed the bottom minion wave at that point, which is why they felt that it was safe enough for them to go into the red bot jungle to put the deep ward. They are going to be, I think, having the next timing for the respawn of the blue buff the next time it's up. So they will have the vision as well as knowledge advantage if they do try to cash in on that later on.
Ash is missing CS. Nocturne
It happens.
Nocturne now
Alright.
pathing around this top side, looking like going for a quick recall. Should be able to pick up the jungle item, maybe a little bit extra on top of that. Yeah, we've actually been seeing a couple of interesting adaptations in secondary trees for a couple of these aggressive early game junglers, like Lee Sin. Perhaps Nocturne could also benefit from taking the futures market. They could potentially go for something aggressive like buying that early jungle item, buying the early components, and then when you hit that level 6 power spike, you just start popping off.
Yep, right now Sejuani is gonna be taking the second spawn of the bot, Scuttle Crab Cappuccino. I don't think he knows that Sejuani is here. He did take the first spawn of the Scuttle. Right now, Brand is gonna have a bomb on him. It's not going to do all that much damage, but they do have the backup of Sejuani right now. Looks like it might be a 3v2 dive. I don't really think that Cerberus G6 could convert this into a kill, and yep, Sejuani is going to hit back to base. Nocturne, though, is kind of posturing around over on the side. Not sure yet if he wants to power farm till 6 before showing up, or if he wants to make something happen.
Missing out. Kind of mixed direction coming in from the bot lane. It feels like, I feel like they should just shove them under turret and just try to maintain pressure there, and then have the Sejuani play around bot side, considering that top side really doesn't necessarily need much help.
Yeah, I mean, it was really telegraphed what their game plan was during the pick and ban, right? It was just have Twitch sit back and farm, and the fact that he's down about 12 CS isn't really that much of a difference. I mean, you could tell from their item buys that Twitch went for the door and shield, very defensive start, that really the game plan is just sit back, try not to die, and just scale and farm up. Right now, Syndra has hit that level 6 mark. Nocturne is just very slightly behind. Will be hitting the 6 very soon as well. We'll have to see where he goes. Might be a gank in the bot side, or might be ganking for the Syndra very quick. So Johnny's also level 5 as well.
Very good call and use of the Hawkshot just to get a little bit more vision over the jungle. They know that the blue buff is up, so you fire a diagonal shot past the blue buff to the wolves. You definitely get vision over where the jungler is, if not where he's not. So that's great use of the Hawkshot. So that means they play a little bit more passively. They don't need to force out the wave.
Yep, and they know that because the Nocturne was taking his blue, Sejuani is over in the top side right now, taking their blue. She's probably gonna get level 6, like she will get level 6 off of this too. So we will see. Let's see Nocturne pathing towards the top side. Syndra looks like she wants to roam top as well, but Cass roaming towards a bot lane.
Yeah, just gonna clear out a bit of vision, I think. Quite curious as to how many stacks the Nasus has at this point.
You're obsessed.
I'm obsessed. This is it's like a mini game for me. Just gotta check. Cassiopeia right now maxing out that Q as expected. Extra point into the E just to get a little bit more clear. It looks like. But yeah, change the way the playstyle that the Cassiopeia with the Q max, the W max has just seen Cassiopeia rise back into prominence here.
Yep. Previously, I mean, I used to max E when you play Cassiopeia, but because of the numbers changing, as well as a bit of the mana numbers as well, Q is very helpful. I guess I should have comment too. Whereas the Syndra took Electrocute. We haven't really been focusing on the mid lane matchup this game, but Syndra Electrocute has potential.
Gets baited out. Now Nocturne over into the mid lane, trying to look for the catch onto the Cassiopeia. Fear will come out. Petrifying Gaze on the turret. Beautiful shots. They will not be able to find the kill though, and First Blood hits over to the Syndra, flashing in with the unleashed power.
That was a really good bait from the side of definitely not girls. Cassiopeia looked like she wanted to go in for the 1v1. Didn't know the Nocturne was waiting in the wings for the Paranoia, and that just instantly turned things around. Cass also blew both of her summoner spells. Won't have Cleanse or Flash for the Nyx skirmish right now.
This is it.
Going
DKing.
Are you like this with Veigar, or is it just Nasus?
It's just Nasus.
Just Nasus?
No, nobody cares about Veigar. Like, Veigar is too uninteractive, you know?
What?
You don't get to see this,
he has the best laugh in the game.
No, you don't get to see this, like, real smash.
The tooltip, the VFX.
Yeah, there we go. Enchanted Crystal Arrow just barely goes wide, but they do manage to find the stun onto the Zilean. Forces the flash. Zilean still has the ultimate up, but will not be taking that risk.
That's actually a cute interaction right there. I believe that on the disengage, because the Twitch popped his stealth at that point, which makes it a bit hard for Ashe to land the arrow when you can't see the Twitch. So as observers watching the game, we can see him in stealth, but I think Ashe just kind of pressed R, hope for the best, but it didn't quite land onto the Twitch. So they're going to make it out of that 3v2. It does mean that they're going to not have the Sejuani ultimate for a while. Bunch of missing pings down in mid. Nocturne gonna be waiting for his paranoia to come back
sitting on top of a ward too.
Yeah.
Nocturne has ultimate coming up. Can you make a gank? Sejuani sits on top of a ward. Oh no.
Yeah, they're both sitting in mid like, yeah, we're just wait for our R's to come up. I mean, sure, you can see me, but I can see you.
That's true.
If anything, it's a gentleman's agreement on the 2v2. Scuttle going to be taken by the Sejuani. Just about 30 seconds off from having her glacial prison up again. Meanwhile, Zilean has hit the level 7 mark, so is going to have the ultimate to potentially save the Twitch if things go south. Just looking at the item buy, though, Ashe really is going to be dishing out a lot more sustained damage than the Twitch in the 2v2 or the 3v3, just because she already has the BF sword compared to the Twitch items.
Yeah, I think short trains, Ashe definitely comes up ahead. Yeah, so Twitch probably doesn't want to look for any of those little auto attack exchanges, especially since they don't have much sustain, and Brand definitely has a lot of poke. Nocturne will just get found out here. Mid lane, Janice manages to get a kill. Is this
Whew. And baited out the Syndra Ignite too.
Oh my goodness, goes into stasis, has to stopwatch. Oh no, Nocturne gets baited in. Will they be able to find this? Does not look like that's gonna be the case. Oh wait. Chasing after, gets the E off, one more shot.
Oh, Bren died. We missed kill over in the bottom side. However, in mid, Cappuccino just barely makes it out alive right there. I think he had something like 150 health, but in the bot side, Brand does go down. Didn't quite catch what was going on, but just looking at the summoner spells, Ashe used her flash to make it out of that one. Brand expended flash as well.
Interesting that they lost that 2v2 bot lane.
I think because Ashe didn't have her crystal arrow at the point. Zilean did use the ult, so might have been an old bait and switch from the Zilean.
200 stacks Nasus, that's cool.
That's actually nuts at 13 minutes though.
Hopefully they manage to keep up this snowball.
Yep, Twitch right now should be able to go back in. Oh, he doesn't have his first item complete yet.
Pretty sure Nasus can just kill the Trundle right now. I'm not sure exactly what Nasus is waiting for, just kill the Trundle. You can tell like my inner Nasus player is like,
kill the Trundle, kill the Trundle, Q the minion, kill the Trundle.
Yeah, you have so you have
emerge as God.
There's a plus 12 in the cannon minion right there, and another plus 12, which is your late opponent, right? Plus 24.
You just see them as pistils. You see them like in your brain just goes ka-ching,
ka-ching. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. Hopefully, get to see something happen up the top side, because it definitely feels like the Nasus should be at the point where they can start trading pretty well against the lane opponent. I want to see the Nasus draw more pressure up top side, force the Nocturne to move this way as well. Yeah, look at this. Come on. Just press W, press Q.
Yeah, he's got Sheen and Phage as well. It's like the double stacking for your Q.
Yeah.
For your damage, your auto attack.
Look at that. This is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Just press R, press W, walk up, kill.
I think Trundle expects it too, because he went for his Tiamat as well as the Tabi, so he's kind of expecting.
There we go. Little bit late. Force the flash.
Slow, yep.
Pretty sure there's the flash coming out.
Cast his ult.
Oh, that still counts. Plus 12. No.
Petrifying.
I like it's incredible that I'm watching a kill, but I still.
Yeah, you just booed that kill, man. You've got high expectations, but the fact that Cassiopeia did roam towards the top side means that it's open season on the mid side tier 1. So much damage onto the first tower.
Sejuani in position as well. Oh, no confidence to be able to look for the kill there. They could have perhaps gone in for the Q. Sejuani flash ultimate maybe, some kind of big risky play there. Then ground the Syndra before she can get away.
Yeah, it's always a bit tricky too, going in onto the Syndra because she can just turn around and stun 2v1 you right in your face at that point. I think they wanted to play it a bit safe. For the side of Cerberus, G6, they already won. They already got pressure, lane priority in the top side. Prior to that, it doesn't look like Nocturne is sticking around in the mid lane though. Looks like he's just helping to control the wave, waiting for Ice Bear to come back. Yep, good guy, Cappuccino. Ice Bear should be able to pick up the cannon minion.
Can he get the break?
Pink, just to catch the Twitch.
Get the break off, get first turret, off one more hit. Angelic Crystal Arrow comes in, Nocturne joins it, the bot lane, the Ashe will be the first target. The near side of the Fear will get the kill, the Agdol's on the Sejuani with nowhere left to run. Flashes away, but it's only 1 or 2 more auto attacks away, and Tempered Fate finds the kill on the Tiger.
Oof, but with those kills though, definitely Not Gross picked up the 3 kills, and they are going to pick up the Cloud Dragon right here, which means that they're going to get the gold lead just very slightly, despite the fact that Cerberus and G6 did pick up that first blood tower. I think it's just the difference in terms of priority for both these teams, because wow, what? Where did she go?
So this is the kind of moment where you kind of realize, oh dang, the enemy team's scaling up. They have a lot of damage, a lot of front low damage.
That's the point in time where you slash all chat outplayed by the Syndra R.
Yes.
But as you were saying, during the 3v3 skirmish down in the bottom side, it was just the difference in target selection and target priority, right? Because the Ashe and the Brand were hard hitting the tower, despite the fact that they knew that the Nocturne had Paranoid in, but they didn't care. They just wanted to get the gold from the first blood tower. Ended up giving up 3 kills. I'm not too sure it's worth it. Especially since Dragon did go over to DNG.
Yeah, I don't think it was worth it at all. It was just compound of events with the mid lane, well, with the bot lane dying, and then even despite the fact that they lost the turret, they did manage to equalize it back over the mid lane, and because they managed to get those 3 kills, they could go for the Dragon very convincingly. Right now, over on the top side, River, a little bit of damage onto Sejuani. Sejuani gets out very quickly. Looking towards where NASA stands right now, stack-wise. 330 plus. 340?
You're obsessed.
It's you know, when you watch NASA's, what else are you supposed to do?
There are other things besides how many stacks he has
there's nothing
that form the mark of a good NASA
There's
player.
Literally nothing else.
There's like your positioning in team fight.
If you have enough stacks, doesn't matter. If you have enough stacks, doesn't matter.
Position.
If you have enough stacks, doesn't matter.
Your W selection on your target priority. Nasus is more than just his Q, alright?
I think nobody actually likes hearing a Nasus talk about how many stacks a Nasus has.
Yeah, no one cares.
But
Riot made it worse because now you can ping your stacks, you can ping the number of your stacks.
But now it's just a matter of, you know, you have to let them know. You have to let everybody in the game know how many stacks you have.
Your teammates probably muted you. It looks like Rome from Ice Bear as well as Sejuani towards the top side, though. A lot of pings going down. Both teams have vision around the top side river, so they know that it could potentially be a 3v3. They are going to back off. This is the last minute that either team has to really try and secure the Rift Herald at this point, I think, which is why both teams are posturing this hard. If they do want to pick up the Rift Herald buff, it's got to be in the next 40 seconds or so, but it looks like Cerberus G6 think that it's too risky and they're gonna back off from this.
Yeah, this is not the prettiest situation coming in right now for Cerberus. They have a decent amount that they need to do to try and claw back in the game. I mean, technically right now the gold difference isn't really that much, but as we started to see, the gold is channeling towards very effective fronts on the side of definitely not girls, and you have the Twitch coming up much stronger. You have the Syndra coming out much stronger. And with the gold being funneled in this way, it becomes much more difficult for their composition to do too much. As the Cassiopeia falls behind, it doesn't look too bad just yet, but it definitely is something that they have to worry about.
Yeah, I think the longer the game goes on, I mean, if you fall behind as a Zillion, it doesn't really make much of a difference because pretty much you're an R-bot as a Zillion. You see your Twitch about to die, you press R. It doesn't really matter what your items look like at that point. Sure, the extra health is nice, but it's really not entirely necessary. Whereas when you think of support champions such as Brand, really is going to need something like a some sort of magic penetration, perhaps a Leandry's half build his Morello's to really be dishing out significant damage in the team fights. So it's going to be harder, I think, for Cerberus G6 to try and make up this difference.
This is tough for me. I don't exactly like the way the game is panning out right now. Neither party is really working off of their win condition and trying to move towards a strong point in the game. Sure, Nasus has this connotation as a late game carry, late game damage dealer, kind of a semi-bruiser kind of situation. But really, Nasus has a mid game power spike and then falls off very hard in the late game. So if they want to do something with Nasus, they have to do it quickly, but it doesn't look like that's the case. They don't have the vision to empower that. They don't have the macro movements to empower that. Right now, it's constantly moving up to this top lane. They're not decisive. There are no calls to dive. There are no calls to teleport in, send in the cavalry, take down the enemy team, pick up this even this turret quickly. Because right now, it's just so easy for the Zillion Twitch bot lane duel to just clear out the wave and just wait for them to show up. And then Nocturne is now coming in with the ultimate pretty soon. Syndra walks in as well. They should be able to win this fight.
Yeah, that all ties into the amount of wave clear that both these teams drafted. Pretty much, if you want to take down a tower for the side of Cerberus G6, you need the Ashe in that lane, because any combination of your Sidrani or Cassiopeia is going to be pretty slow at taking down a tower. Sure, Nasus does take down towers very quickly, but the thing is, once there's a response from the side of DNG, Nasus isn't going to be able to safely walk up to a tower, because then you just get something like Syndra eat in your face. And then you'll be forced to back off. There
we go. We do see the Paranoia coming out. They're looking for the engage onto the enemy team. Flash away from the Nocturne, but the damage coming out from the Twitch. He had using the stasis to try and survive for a little bit longer. Exhaust onto the Sejuani. Cassiopeia now coming in from the back front, trying to dish out damage. The Petrifying Gaze not able to connect. Syndra coming in as well. Will force out a number of summoner spells, a number of big ultimates from the enemy team, but they're not able to do anything just yet. Looking for a catch onto the Ashe, perhaps. Twitch now moving in.
This is actually a bit dangerous. Brand's got his ultimate, and multiple members on DNG are pretty low. They could actually, yep, they're not going to try and turn this around. Would have been really dangerous, I think, if DNG had tried to push that, or if they tried to dive, because you don't really want to dive the Brand under his tower when he has his ultimate up, when two members on your squad are low. So DNG are going to be a bit restrained with that one, going to back off. Ashe Arrow just out for visibility, but doesn't catch any of the DNG members recalling, but we're going to see a bit of a reset.
On one hand, I would like to call that very disciplined engage. You know, you take what you need to, you get the advantage that you need to, you take the fight that you have.
I sense a but.
But it's just not effective enough. I feel like they are playing towards their opponent too much. They need to play at a certain level of playstyle that is irrelevant or disregarding the opponent that they have. So even if they're playing against an opponent that will not punish them for it, they should be playing as if the opponent can. So their playing style, while it works right now, is heavily reliant on what Cerberus is doing.
It sounds like what you're saying is essentially disrespect them. Respect them less. That's what it sounds like.
Yes, honestly, okay, in that sense, yes, respect them less. Instead, respect a stronger opponent and play as if they were a stronger opponent. You know? So play in a way that you do have to take risk, because if you don't take the risk, then you will get punished for it. Because right now,
I feel like I'm not completely sold on the idea. They are the team with the Twitch, they are the team with the Syndra. I think if your Twitch is ahead, which he is right now, I'm not sure if it's entirely necessary to take risks when he's already ahead. I see your point though. We're different people.
Well, yeah.
We're different people.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm 2-0. Do I need to be 5-0?
I like to see blood. I like to see action. You know. I mean that may affect my decision a little bit, but honestly, I definitely stand by what I say, and I definitely think that there is quite a bit of missed potential right now that they could be using to go a bit more aggressive. We're in the mid lane. Yeah,
Sheepy doing what Sheepy does best on champions such as the Nasus, such as the Ilaoi, going for the split push, solo taking those towers. Almost got the mid lane tier 1, should get it on the next wave, but so many pings topside.
Alright, Paranoia coming in and looking to jump onto the enemy team. Petrifying Gaze not able to connect the flash away from the Ashe. Will keep her safe for a little bit longer. Zillion uses the ult onto the Nocturne. Jaws does manage to find the first kill onto the Ashe, and they're trying to dodge away right now. Tiger should be taken down very soon after. Cappuccino will be the one to find the kill for that. Brand being chased down, run down by the enemy team, and there's no escape for them as Cerberus does get taken down.
And that's the engage that you wanted to see.
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
Just turn it on, get the Paranoia going. Twitch pops his ultimate.
Why did it take 26 minutes to do that?
They had to wait for the Twitch to come online. You can't. You saw Twitch at level 1. You saw Twitch from level 1 to level 5. Get beaten up. Get whooped in lane. By the Ashe and Brand. Patience pays off, Grandin.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Get the Twitch to have at least an item and a half. Get the attack speed component.
This is actually terrible for Cerberus G6 right now. Twitch, after that fight, went back and finished his Hurricane, so he's going to be dishing out even more sustained damage during those fights. Meanwhile, the Ashe 0 and 2 has the lead on the CS just a bit, but still only has about 1.5 items, the Storm Razor and the Zeal item not yet completed. We're about 27 minutes into game. Gold lead isn't all that much in favor of Definitely Not Girls. It's about 2,500, but as you've been saying earlier in the game, so far this game hasn't really been about the gold difference. It's been about lane priority. It's been about the gold being funneled onto the carries of DNG, onto the people that matter. So it makes it look as if the gold lead is much bigger than it actually is. But I do think that Cerberus G6 still have a chance of coming back into this game, especially because champions such as the Twitch, he's got 600 bounty on him right now, the Nocturne as well. You've seen the Nocturne almost die. I think in the last 2 skirmishes it's come very close.
170 stacks. Yes!
You're just focused on, you have a one-track mind. Your one track is set to Nasus Q stack.
Ugh. Come on, plus 12. It's worth the death. It's worth dying for. It's worth dying for.
That was a really suspicious sound.
Come on, the plus 12 is worth dying for. Honestly speaking, just walk up, get the plus 12.
No, let's not. Let's show some restraint in our play. We're aspiring to be professionals here, Gamernism.
Picking up this mid lane. Now the Paranoia coming in. They will be jumping onto the enemy team so far. Almost getting taken down by the shutdown onto the Nocturne. Doesn't even matter though. Look at this damage coming out as the Twitch outputs an insane amount. Bolt after bolt. Just taking down the enemy team. Shredding through their front line, their back line. Every possible angle. The Twitch is right there.
I think the Twitch popped heal not because his health was low, but to walk faster to chase the other members of Cerberus G6. But what a team fight. Cerberus G6 do manage to get the shutdown gold off of Nocturne. I believe it was 450 gold, so that's going to be a bit extra change in their pockets. So they did end up trading 2 for 1. They got the shutdown on the Nocturne, but Definitely Not Girls will be picking up the Cloud Drake for themselves. Not the best dragon that they could have hoped for at this point. Really, I think an Infernal Dragon would have been really very lucky spawn for them going into the mid-late stages of the game, but they'll take what they can get.
Yeah, I think it kind of works. You have the Nocturne, you have the Twitch.
Move fast.
Yeah. You gotta go fast.
Pop the stealth, move fast, charge at them, see them in a line, press your R, and that's the dream Twitch right there.
That's what happened. That's what's happening with Twitch right now, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. If you saw the earlier team fight, the thing about the Nocturne ult is that when he pops Paranoia and goes in, it kind of baited Cerberus G6 into standing in that line to focus the Nocturne, and Twitch was like, sweet!
You got the Zillion double bomb to get the nice stun off?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Syndra right now.
And honestly, it doesn't even matter how many stacks the Nasus has because they don't have any way to...
Wow, did I hear those words come out from your mouth?
As I said, Nasus has a minor mid-game power spike where you are effective, and the power spike is over because the team cannot keep up with what the Nasus is trying to output. Oh my goodness, missing 2 critical ultimates! Paranoia jumps right onto the Ash, but a flash away from the Nocturne will keep him alive for a little bit longer. The Zillion ultimate going to come out. Auto attack after auto attack. Hickey will get taken down very soon after his 80 carry, surely! And it's a double kill for the Twitch! Woo!
6-0 and 5. 900 gold bounty on the Twitch right now. What a game, what a showing from Jess in the very last game of FSL 3 top 8 qualifiers.
I don't think they'll be able to pick up this turret. Oh wait,
they're gonna pick
up this turret. I don't know how much they're gonna.
Oh
no, Cass! I'm not sure how. I'm gonna say I don't think they're gonna be able to defend this turret. I'm not sure how much they wanna try and go for that right now.
Yeah, that was kind of the worst of both worlds. Cassiopeia gave up her life and they lost the mid-side tier 2, and her hourglass is going to be down for about 90 more seconds.
Maybe a little bit more respect for the enemy team. Maybe just a little bit.
A little bit more respect?
Yeah, a little bit more. Oh, come on. No!
What?
What was the Trundle doing?
The Great Escape.
What was the Trundle doing?
He made it out of that one. Cerberus G6 right now, just trying to clear a bit of vision around the Baron pit. We are past the 30-minute mark, so it is possible that either team could try and sneak the Baron. Of course, Cerberus isn't really in a position to do that right now. The Malaysian team definitely coming up strong so far. Oh, so they are the team with the Twitch and Syndra. They would be able to take down the Baron pretty quickly if they did decide to go for that one. Of course, it's always a bit dangerous trying to fight for...
What's going on right now? They're looking for the catch onto the Syndra, but it doesn't even matter because jumping right onto the Brand, they're going to take him down first, and now the Twitch outputting more damage. The Petrifying Gaze lands onto the Nocturne, but hit after hit, will it be enough? They will be able to kite away from the Nocturne. Twitch coming in nearby as well, but the Syndra survives off of that one. They do take a 1-for-1 trade, but the Nocturne going down, not sure if that's the best one they could have gone for.
Switch is absolutely ridiculous. He killed Brand in like 3 auto attacks, and he very nearly, I think,
the hubris of taking a damage support.
Just one more auto attack and I'm pretty sure he would have double killed Cassiopeia as well as the Ashe.
Yeah, pretty sure
at that point. Yeah, if he he got slowed, and you could see Joust thinking about it. He was like, do I pop heal? It might be the double kill. I don't have my flash, and he decided to be a bit more restrained that time. It's kind of hoping for a bit more bloodthirsty play, but 1 kill instead of 3, I'll take it. Still has
1-for-1 trade. Yeah, 1-for-1. Would you take that? Would you take that though? Your Nocturne dies.
Twitch is 8-0, so I think for the Twitch, it's very worth it at this point.
I'm kind of doubting the itemization coming in from the Nocturne. I don't really see the point of going for the Storm Razor right now.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The thing is,
the Nasus gets caught out.
There is potential for the Nocturne to perhaps buy a tank
item.
My
god, just jumping in once again, but it's a little bit over aggressive. Doesn't have to support the team just yet, but it will be able to find the first kill on the Hickey. The Brand ultimate just jumping around doesn't even matter. Uses the pillar, but it's just gonna block off his own team instead. Just go for the Baron. Should be an easy, secure play here. 3 dead on the side of Cerberus. Missed out a window to play around.
He's got red buff. He's thinking about it.
No R. Has R.
Has R.
Not gonna use it. Does not have faith to outplay.
Hey. Has restraints.
No faith to outplay.
Has learned from past mistakes.
No faith to outplay.
Does not disrespect opponents.
Never get hit by cast ult, by the way.
Respects opponents. Respecting your opponent's team. Also, yeah, I agree with the Nocturne. I was kind of thinking that maybe he was going to go for a Guardian's Angel Nyx just because DNG are using the Nocturne heavily as their primary form of engagement. We've seen him nearly get blown up a couple times, but you have Zilean on your team. He's pretty much a GA on your squad anyway.
Still would prefer to see the GA because you can save the Zilean on for maybe like a high priority
for
target,
the
like,
Twitch,
exactly.
for your Syndra. Don't want them to be giving up the bounty. Syndra has 950 bounty right now. We do see Cerberus G6 really prioritizing vision around the Baron pit, despite the fact that all three lanes pushing in favor of DNG. You've seen so far that they really need to at least 3-man group before going into the Baron pit to clear vision, but it just shows what a high priority they're placing on the Baron. They know that DNG have 3 lanes pushing. If they do get Baron, that could likely spell the end of the game for them at that point, but we are past 35 minutes. DNG do have 4 dragons, so if they do pick up the next Elder Dragon, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it'll be game over for Cerberus G6 at that point.
Definitely feels like just bleeding them out at this point. There's not much that Cerberus can do. They've missed out the window for them to be strong at this point. Nasus with the 600 plus stacks, almost 700 stacks, I think, it doesn't make that much of a difference at this point.
We missed the 20-minute mark where he walked out of top lane.
Yeah. that was the moment where like, Nasus was supposed to pop off.
Like Aquaman walking out of the ocean.
Basically that, honestly. Missed on that moment there. Now
Ashy,
teleport's coming in. They're looking to try and find this. They will be able to find some damage onto the Trundle. The CC coming in, but the Trundle heals up so very quickly. The Paranoia coming in. Nice enchanted crystal arrow. Joss goes legendary. Auto attack after auto. They're finding the backline as well. Auto attacks from the Trundle. Chasing after the Cassiopeia. The Cassiopeia dashing, just running away, slithering away at this point. Sheepy almost manages to find this. Look at how low their health bars are. Oh my goodness. Where is the Twitch? Where is the cleanup? Just auto attacks, but she doesn't have the health for this.
Where is the Karthus in this pick?
Oh man!
So many members low from that team fight. What a risky Baron. We're saying that DNG do have a huge lead, and they clearly thought so. They went for that risky
It's
Baron
okay though, like
yeah, it worked out fine
only one
for them,
died,
yeah.
Right? Just Baron again. You just keep
just Baron again. Second time's the charm.
Rinse and repeat. Eventually they win.
10-0 in Twitch. 10-0-8 Twitch. He used 3,000 gold up off of the Ashe. Easily the most gold out of everyone. He's got double the gold that the brand has.
Yeah, so there's a hubris of playing a damage support.
A 0-8 brand.
My inner saltiness is coming through.
Yeah.
Damage support. There is a time and place for damage supports. They have to recognize the kind of window and effectiveness that it has. I don't feel like they managed to play to its full effectiveness here. Playing the brand support, you really had to try and abuse the lane a little bit more. They definitely did a lot of damage to the Twitch early on.
Yep, and the thing about the brand support, it's not just about landing those game-changing R's in the team fights. It's also about being able to get your stun down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just something that we didn't really quite see. We didn't see the passive procs. We didn't see
the thing
much
is,
of the stun.
At this point, you as a 0 and 8 brand, your ults are not game-changing. They barely tickle the enemy, if you're being perfectly honest, right? Your stuns are really the only effectiveness you have. You walk forward and you bait out a lot of the CC onto yourself first, try and get the stun off if that's possible. And honestly, you're just a vision bot. And as you were mentioning, like as Zilean, no matter what, you always have the CC from your Qs, you always have the ultimate available, which means that no matter how far behind you fall, you always have your utility. Brand is not that case. Brand needs damage, Brand doesn't have damage.
I agree. It's really rough for the brand right now. He does have the Leandries, does have the Oblivion Orb, but we just haven't really been seeing the significance in the team fights. Second time!
Oh, come on, let's cleanse. Okay. Respectable
Locking
cleanse.
It off. Ooh, Nocturne looking like he's going to recall right here. Have seen a bit of a lull in the action for the last minute or two. DNG looked like they kind of wanted to bait Baron again, but then Cerberus did laid on some pretty good vision. Don't think they were gonna fall for it a second time. Syndra does have Banshees right now. She's gonna be a bit more effective if as the follow-up engage after the Nocturne Paranoia is in. So I think as time goes by, it's just harder and harder for Cerberus G6 to try and turn this one around. Ooh, Twitch going really aggressive right here.
Ooh.
Just
two auto
attacks.
490 damage with each auto. Very nice. Has to be a little bit careful though. The Sejuani over on the side could possibly look for an engage. Get a couple of stuns off. All the dragon now within their sights. Yeah, this game is taking a little bit long. The Cerberus have really missed out the window for them to end off the game, and the longer the game goes on, it really does feel like it's just going to be a game handed over to definitely not girls.
Ooh, pause being called. We will be waiting for production to get some word on the ground to us about the reason for the pause, but you're talking about the time window to really close out this game. I mean, this game has turned out drastically different from how we predicted in Pick and Ban. I think in Pick and Ban we were saying that the Cerberus G6 team have a very good team fighting composition, especially in the late game, with the Nasus, the Cassiopeia, the Ashe, as well as the Sejuani. Just 5v5, they look very strong. I think what fell apart for them this game was that D and G actually managed to take the early to mid-game lead. They were just straight up winning their lanes. The Nocturne, once he hit that level 6, was able to make an impact over in the mid lane as well as the bottom side, and then just very good rotations, I think, from the side of D and G just helped them get such a big lead that outright 5v5 they're still able to win fights versus Cerberus G6, despite the fact that the team fight composition from Cerberus should be better.
That's true. I mean, and on top of that, right, it's twofold. Oh my goodness, Paranoia coming in, looking to go onto the back line, looking to do a lot of damage. Crits coming out, trying to take down the Brand first. Brand gets the fear off. The damage from the Twitch, auto attacks, just rat-a-tat-tat into their faces. They're just gonna get taken down. No way they're gonna survive off of this one. Sheepy's gonna get taken down with one more auto attack. The Brand goes down as well. Chasing after. Wow, actually managed to get the Twitch with the burn off of that Brand. Janice does manage to survive off that fight. Yeah, this okay. So right now, in hindsight, as you look at the game as a whole and to see, okay, so exactly at which point did Cerberus start to falter? A large part. First off, you have the Nasus. Nasus is effectively going to be distant from the team. She's gonna stay top lane. She's just gonna try and farm out, get the stacks, and hit that 20-30 minute mark where she's most relevant. If the Trundle rotates, then you're effectively playing a 4v5. Right, so you, in that case, in that situation alone, where we did see the Trundle rotate a couple of times, they're playing a 4v5, and then the Brand fell so far behind. Brand is almost irrelevant during that mid game phase. Coming back a little bit now with this kill, the shutdown. I mean, the first kill is always the hardest, right? This is coming back a little bit now. But it definitely does still feel like they're lacking manpower. They don't have the same kind of effect that they were looking to draft with. Draft-wise, yeah, I can understand what the idea was, what they were looking to try and do. It doesn't feel like that's the case right now. It doesn't feel like they have that power right now.
Yep, I agree. Right now, DNG, ooh, they're posturing around the Elder Dragon, just clearing out some vision before they start this one off. I'm not sure Cerberus G6 can't really contest this though, although they do have all their key ultimates up. Would be pretty dangerous if they did manage to land all their follow-up CC. Oh!
Coming in, Nocturne gets the Elder Dragon buff away.
Cerberus G6, they were just a bit too late on that engage. It looked like they wanted to catch DNG unaware in the Elder Dragon pit, but it just took them, it took DNG just faster than Cerberus were expecting to take the Elder Dragon.
What's going on here? Are they really going for this? Are they really going for this? Sleepy gets stunned up. We'll see the pillar coming in as a form of crowd control. The Paranoia jumping over into the back lines. A couple of auto attacks looking to take down the Ashe. Ashe has to back out very far away. Joss doing a lot of damage. The first kill comes out. The trade back is the second kill on the Sheepy as well. But Joss taken down so very low. It's a 3-man stun. Looking at a couple more auto attacks. We'll be able to find this. Both go into stasis. It's a mid laner versus mid laner. A triple kill coming in for the Syndra, but the flash away will not save her from the poison ticks.
Whew, Joss nearly going down in that exchange. You could see it on the Twitch's face too. He thought he was gonna die. He backed off. He saw two members on Cerberus low and he was like, wait, there's the potential for me to pick up more kills.
Can he do this? 20 plus seconds left.
Got the life steal.
It is Twitch.
He's
It's
probably
Twitch
gonna get
alone.
the inhib, rotate towards top. Yep, get the top tower, top inhib, and then he's probably going to be. Also, he's
Safer
he's
option,
got,
I suppose.
Yeah, safer option. Also, he's got another 1,000 gold bounty this time. So if he does die once the members of Cerberus G6 respawn, he doesn't want to give that up.
True.
So
This
he
is safer option, smarter option here.
Yep, safer, smarter option. We're close to 45 minutes in the game. No one wants to throw the game at the 45-minute mark because your AD carry greeted and died. no one wants that.
That's
game.
not a throw. That's not a throw. Just,
That is a throw.
That's just.
That is the definition of a throw.
Just you know, keeping.
Like, what happened? Oh, my ADC greeted for farm and then died. They respawned. No one wants that to happen. Of course, a lot riding on this game number 5 of the Day 2 Top 8 Offline Playoffs for the Female Esports League Season number 3. I once better remind every one of our viewers watching, whoever loses between this game will be knocked out of FSL Season 3. The winner will make it into next week's top 4 as the 4th and final team, making it into the semi-finals next week. So a lot riding on this game. No one wants to throw. No one wants to greed.
It's not throw. It's just, you know, taking risk.
A mistake.
It's not a mistake. It's just a happy little accident.
Happy little accident.
Baron is available for both teams to try and start up. I mean, definitely priority does go over to definitely not goals right now. They have the option to try and look for this Baron. They have a lot of damage in the form of this Twitch. Right now, Twitch is playing a little bit more precariously. Oftentimes, you see Twitch barely surviving the fights, even dying in one of the previous fights.
What are the saving graces for Cerberus G6 right
Stun
now?
on to the Sejuani. Not
They're
sure whether
gonna-
Twitch wants to show himself
Yeah,
there.
they're gonna back off. One of the saving graces for Cerberus G6 is that because you're so far in the game, Twitch at this point is full build, so any extra gold that they get for the side of DNG isn't really going to be making a difference in terms of items. At this point is really where Cerberus G6 can try to start catching up.
Yeah, I mean, that's still pretty difficult considering even the jungler's a full item behind right now.
Yep, and the Ash with the cloth armor as her last item. It's gotta hurt.
Probably building towards the Guardian's Angel, but yeah, even then, Baron being started up and it's going to be completed so very quickly. The Cassiopeia trying to move into position, looking to try and take this away, but the red team will just secure this Baron so very quickly. And it looks just about game at this point. Just shove out mid, it doesn't matter. The Nasus cannot outshove you guys. The 4v5, you win the trades, you might as well just go for this push right now.
I agree. I think Nasus really needs to be teleporting back.
Oh,
into
there we
this
go,
fight.
jumping onto the Cassiopeia, the stun coming in as well. Paranoia jumps onto the Ash, one auto attack, a second. Will he be able to look for his kill patch? Fine gaze, takes down the Nocturne. Then the Trundle continues to chase after. Whoa, my goodness. Hit after hit, nowhere to go. Sheepy joins in the fight with the Nasus, but it's the first Nectar Tower being taken down in a second. They have 5 men strong. They're going for the Nexus, and that's gonna be game. What a way to end off the game.
Yep. With that, we are going to have all 4 of our teams locked in for next week's semi-finals of the FSL Season 3. It's going to be Asterix, Nitrous, Team Hanami, as well as our Malaysian team, Definitely Not Girls. What a showing from them this game. Took them a while, but they got there in the end.
I mean, they understood their win condition, get to the hyper late game where Twitch is an absolute monster, and then work from there. So in that sense, they definitely played that right pretty well.
Yep, their 1 win condition, get the Twitch fed, win game somehow. Question mark,
Yeah,
in
just
the
like
middle.
the step 1,
Yeah.
pick Twitch, step 2, laning phase, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Win game.
There we go.
Yep, that was pretty much what happened at this game. Of course, major props to our Malaysian team for getting that one nicely in the bag. We are going to be having our semifinals and finals played offline live next week at the Singtel Recreation Club. I believe it starts at 11 in the morning. I'm pretty sure we'll have more details on later than today. We get to have a bit of a lie-in
Yeah.
for next week. If you guys are following our Facebook page, we're going to be releasing, I think, the event details, tickets. Not sure registration. Yeah.
Not too sure.
Yep. That will all be on our Facebook page, guys. So check that out if you guys want to come down and support the teams for next week. Of course, the winner of next week's semifinals and finals will qualify for the FSL Elite, which will be played in February. And we've been having qualifiers this month from the other Southeast Asian teams. So next month we'll be sending our Singaporean representative for FSL Elite 2019.
So hopefully we get to see a very solid amount of games next week. So guys, if you have the time, drop by the Singtel Com Center. Try and check the Facebook page online for any updates as to how you can come watch some of your favorite players duke it out. Try and make it into the FSL Elite. And with that being said, guys,
Ice Bear, Candleburn. I'm a Candleburn fan.
That being said, guys, we have come to the end of our stream for today. I'm Brandon Gibbons. With me has been Jenny Rayra Lee, and we've been your casters. And thank you guys for tuning into the broadcast with us. We'll see you guys next time.